there is not really an outstanding subject in the grand landscape. And the question is it possible to get out a really fantastic photograph without having a subject? So there's only one way to find out. So let's go. What a gorgeous morning this morning. Hi my friends, nice to see you. Today I'm going to do something special because I got a question from one of you, and I think his name was Woodland. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If not, I'm really sorry for that. But Woodland had a really great question. He wants to know if it's always necessary to get a subject in your composition. And yeah, I mean, that's really a great question. And so I thought I will take you with me today to a really fantastic place. It's really calm and beautiful, but there is no subject there. This means there's always any kind of subject wherever you go. Because, you know, you always can take some detailed shots or even macro shots or whatever. But this is not what I want to achieve today. I'm really talking about a vista photograph. So there is not really an outstanding subject in the grand landscape. And the question is it possible to get out a really fantastic photograph without having a subject? So there's only one way to find out. So let's go. So I'm here now at this place and it's absolutely fantastic. So beautiful here and it's so calm. We just have some woodland noises here and it's really amazing. And the first thing we should talk about is there really no subject here? As I already mentioned, I'm not interested in tiny parts of the landscape. I don't want to take detailed shots or even macro shots. I really want to get a vista photograph of the entire valley back there because it's so beautiful. And yeah, that's really an interesting question. What is the subject here? And obviously we have some boulders here, we have some bushes here, we have this fantastic lake back there. So it were possible maybe to use one of them as our subject. But I think this would maybe not really work here. Why? So if we would imagine back there behind this illuminated hill back there, where something like a triangle mountain or something like this, maybe with snow coverage or something like this. Let's imagine such a really nice scenery. And I think it were obvious. In such a case we had our superhero back there, the triangle mountain with the snow coverage. And everything else in the landscape would just support the superhero, the subject. The mountain were our subject in that case. So when you are at any place where it's really, really beautiful, but you don't have a superhero, so you don't have really an outstanding subject. And this gets into a problem when you think subject orientated. So what I always do is, I don't think all too much about the subject, I think much more about the story I want to tell. Because the subject, the superhero, is not more than a character in my story. It's the main character. But there are also other characters which could use in our story. So maybe the bushes there, the boulders, the lake, the hills, everything, maybe also the clouds up there and so on. So when there is no superhero here, we anyway can tell a really fantastic story, and it will maybe not be the story of Superman who is flying to a building and rescuing any person and flying away. Something what awakes you, something what pulls your eyes there, something what gives you so much energy out of the photograph. Not each photograph should give you so much energy. Maybe you want to hang up the photograph into your sleeping room, In that case, you need anything what brings you down, anything what is calm, a landscape, maybe with bushes, with a boulder, with a lake back there, or maybe illuminated hills back there. It could look really pretty good. So the first thing I do now is I think about the story, I think about the characters I want to use in my story, and then I will build up a composition. So let's go!
I know that it's getting cold, the waves are crashing in. When the streams are getting strong, just hold on to me, yeah. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I know you're strong, need to get yourself together. Things still get better if you just...
So I really found the composition here. It's absolutely amazing. Such a beautiful place. And I came a little bit closer to the lake here now, or to the pond or tarn, whatever it is. And yeah, I got really attracted to this kind of reeds here, what are growing here at the shore. It looks really pretty good. And we are in the shadow here. What's really fantastic, because we have awesome light back there in the distance. It looks really pretty good. And we have a little bit of gaps up there in the clouds, so it's really fantastic because we always get a little bit of light spots and shadows in the distance, and this really adds to the composition. So let me explain you the composition. I'm set up here with my camera, and to be honest, it was really tricky to get it set up here because, yeah, the water is around half a meter deep here, and we only have these pads where the reeds are growing up, and we can climb on them. And when I step one step away from them, I'm 1/2 meter deeper. But however, it works here for me. And so this is my composition. I use these reeds here in the foreground. They build fantastic leading lines into our frame to pull our eyes into the image. And then we have this kind of channel here, this water channel, what is thinner in the foreground and goes wider and wider. And finally it leads into this pond here. It looks really, really fantastic. And we also have these swimming things here on the water surface. I'm not sure what this is, some plants or something like this. And it frames our pond a little bit, it makes it a little bit smaller, and this really, really adds here to my composition. I also use a reflection line of the mountain up there in the water. So this means I'm led from the left-hand corner to the right, and this reflection line from the mountain brings me to the left. And then we have also this fantastic S-curve here from the swimming patterns here on the surface of the water. It's really pretty good. As already mentioned, we are in the shadow here in the foreground, and we have an illuminated part in the hills back there, and this really adds depth to our composition. And so now the question is, where's our superhero? Where's our subject? And to be honest, there is not really a superhero in this composition. Yeah, I mean, we have some characters here. I described the characters already, but we don't have really a superhero. If we had special weather conditions, for instance, maybe a little bit of mist back there, what hangs in, this could really add and could get to our subject. But we don't have this today, we don't have mist here. We have gappy clouds, so this means it could happen that we have there and where some light spots. And then also this could get a little bit, not really to a hero, but to a point of interest. Let's say a point of interest. I think it's a great idea to come away a little bit from the subject-oriented thinking and just to think a little bit more about stories. And here the story what's told here is we are in the shadow here, and there is the sunshine back there. So it's morning, the sun goes up, the day begins, and yeah, this is all about storytelling. From a technical side, I don't use any filters. I thought about using a circular polarizer, but yeah, I want to have the glare on the surface because it really adds contrast to my composition. So I don't have any filters on. Doesn't look all too bad as it is in the moment. So let's make the click.
clouds, I will always be your guiding light. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds, I will always be your guiding light.
So I found one more composition. It's really such a fantastic place here. It's absolutely amazing, and to be honest, it's a little bit more difficult than the first composition, because in the first composition we had at least the lake. It was maybe not really our hero, it was maybe not really a subject, but it was a really fantastic character of our composition. But in this case I found a composition where we even don't really have a really great character. And so I came to the other side of the lake. Before we have been over there, and now I hiked up there and down there again. So what I found here is this nice little S-curve of this little brook what leads back to the lake over there, and we have these fantastic browns, yellows and greens here. It's really pretty good. The only problem here is we're a little bit too low and the lake is too far away, so it's definitely not our subject. And also the brook down there is not really our subject because we are a little bit too far away from it. It's not our hero here. The hero here is really just a pattern in the landscape. And I think, as it is in the moment, this S-curve doesn't lead anywhere. So there is nothing back there what really adds to our composition. And so I think the only thing what I could really hope here now is to get really fantastic weather conditions. And in the moment it's a little bit overcasted. The sun is behind the clouds up there. And yeah, I mean, we always have a little bit of gaps up there, and hopefully it were possible that we would get some light spot maybe behind the lake. So I mean, then we had really a point of interest and the zigzag line or S-curve would lead anywhere. There's no guarantee for getting some light spots there, but it's not impossible. So I will wait here now to hopefully get the right conditions. And as it started already a little bit to rain, not all too much, I put this close here on my camera because, yeah, I mean, when I have water drops on my lens, usually when we get a light spot anywhere back there, it's just a thing of a few seconds. So I really have to be fast then. I will pull down the clothes then and just take the exposure. But I think this could maybe take a while. So I will take lunch here now and let's hope the best for the conditions.
I'll be your guiding light. I'll be your guiding light.
So while I'm waiting here, I found one more composition with my longer lens, and it's a woodland scene. So when you have a look over there to this white tree over there, I think you maybe can't really see it with the wide angle lens here, but I have a tree back there with a white bark and it's surrounded by the foliage of the other trees. At the left we have more cool colors, and at the right we have more warm tones, so this really looks fantastic. And the problem with this composition is the leaves at the right hand side are really warm and they steal the tree to show. And these two subjects compete to each other. And this is usually a problem, but it works as an intimate landscape shot. And I don't have a second tripod with me, I will take it freehand, so let's make the click. Yeah, I wait here already for around 2 hours or so, and unfortunately the gaps disappeared up in the clouds, so I don't think that we really will have the chance to get a light spot anymore here in our landscape. And I think about taking a test shot here now and to come back when the conditions are really fantastic. This composition has really potential, although we don't have a subject here. So I explained the composition already, there's nothing more to explain. Let's make the click. So finally, whenever you're outdoor in a really fantastic place and you don't know how to build up your composition, look for a hero, maybe a superhero, because then it gets really easier to build up a composition. But you also could think not all too much about the subject, think about storytelling and maybe come back when conditions are better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, please give me a thumb up, share this video with your friends, maybe on Facebook, Instagram. It would really help me to grow this channel. Subscribe to my channel if you didn't have already. Thank you so much for watching. See you next Saturday. Bye.
I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light.